We are hiking this afternoon on the Pioneer Trail. And for those of you that do not know where that is, it is in Clay County, Middleburg specifically. And they have some great trails out here. We right now are following the Blue Blazes, and we are going to be going somewhere in the area between 5 and 10 miles today. So I hope you come along and check it out. If you're from this area and you haven't hiked out here in Jennings State Forest, I would strongly encourage you to do so. It is well marked. They've got a couple other trails out here, but we are following the Blue Trail. And ideally, I'm going to show you this blaze real quick. Ideally, that's the blue blaze that signifies that we're on the Pioneer Trail. You should be able to see one blue blaze from the next. Sometimes that doesn't always happen because the tree's fallen down or some growth has come up, but I have another blaze right there. Oops, right there. And so it helps keep you on the right trail, and it also will give you some direction. So if it's going to be turning, it'll give you two blazes and they'll be offset to let you know what direction the trail goes. So really well marked. You can also use All Trails out here. It's pretty accurate. It's an app that you can get on your phone, and you can also pick up a map. They have a kiosk at almost every one of the trailheads. So there's really difficult to get yourself turned around. So, and if you keep the All Trails on and you push that navigate button, which it is a free app, you can pay for it, but you don't have to, for some added benefits, I guess. But you can definitely see when you get off trail, and it will even notify you if you do so. So, yeah, there's really no excuses if you like to get out in the woods and get some fresh air and get some exercise and move that body, not to explore out here. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I pretty much wasted all day, except I had a great breakfast with a friend this morning, and I slept horrible last night, almost like I did when I was on the Appalachian Trail, but I haven't done anything else besides that today. So I was sitting watching a Christmas movie and decided I needed to get my butt up and out on the trail. So I'm not sure how far I'll go, but I'm gonna walk until it gets dark. So I have a 10-mile path out here that I potentially could walk, but we'll see. I don't know how far I'll get. And so it's more about the timing than it is about the distance today. But it is an absolutely beautiful day, and I would have kicked myself in the butt had I not come out and enjoyed some of it. So it's time to hit the trail. This is, I think, the first time I've gone this direction, and so I'm looking forward to taking this trail the other way. I spend a lot of time out in this forest, and it's just so close and convenient to my house, and the trail is really well maintained. So it's my go-to when I decide to do a trail in the spur of the moment. I've got my Millie on right now, my Melly, because it is a little chilly, but I'm anticipating that it's going to get a little colder as the day progresses and we get a little bit closer to sundown. So it's after 4 o'clock. So I don't always bring a battery backup, but today I have a fanny pack on, and I have a battery bank, I have my headlamp, I have my pea style, and my trowel if I need it. Let's see, we're looking at directions right here. So Knight's Landing is 2.4, Indian Ford is 4.9, and then it would be an out and back today. So we're gonna go by one of my favorite camping areas here. Back to my backpack, and then I have a snack. So I have my phone dies out, I've got that covered. If it gets dark, I've got that covered. So, and then I have my jacket. So I think I'm good to go. Time to turn this around and let you see what the trail looks like. Here we go. There's quite a few little bridges here. And the trail, if you started it from one end to the other, would be a little over 12 miles, but you'd need 2 vehicles if you were just going to go one way from start to finish. And a lot of times I'm out here just on a whim, so it's not a planned hike. And so I don't have a lot of other people that have that kind of flexibility around me. So I'm out here doing it solo today. Here is one of the overviews down to the Black Creek. It's flowing pretty good. Looks like a good current down there. But look at that beautiful blue sky. Haven't gone very far. I have 1.8 to get to Knight's Landing. That's called the Taylor Overlook. And I've only been on the trail for about 12 or 13 minutes. And I already had a nice little climb. There's a lot more elevation on this part of the trail than there is over by Dunn's Farm. And so I'm enjoying that. I'm glad I brought one trekking pole, but I have not hit any spider webs yet either. So that's been really pleasant. I was out yesterday morning with a former player of mine. She's getting ready to graduate from nursing school. So shout out to Josie. We did 5.5 miles yesterday morning, and I was getting all sorts of spider webs running across my face. So we have a split here. You can go up and oops. We are going to go down to Chapman's Camp Zone, and that is my favorite camping spot. Although I've never backpacked and camped out here on this campsite. I have backpacked out here and stayed, but it was at a different site. This one is my favorite, and I think during this time of the year would be ideal. I came out here one time to read a book and just do like a little picnic area over here, and the bugs were horrendous, so that was a total fail, but still would like to come out here and do an overnight on this campsite. Can't wait to show it to you. Okay, we are at the campsite, and this is one of the reasons why I love it so much. Look at, you hear that? I've got a nice campfire ring here, so yeah, it's just beautiful. Well, I have heard 2 gunshots so far, and I know people go hunting out here in the woods. So they were kind of far away, but it's the first time I've heard the gunshots in a while. So we'll see how many more of those go on before I get done with my hike today. Here's a great example of those double blazes, and then we are making this right turn. The path itself is pretty self-explanatory, but it's nice when they give you the directions because it isn't always that way. And we have another blue blaze right away, but then as we come up here, now that we've got it offset to the left, and we will be turning left. So now you know the explanation that I gave a little bit earlier about the two blazes offset. Here's our second bridge. All right, we are getting ready to cross the road and head onto the section between Knight's Landing and Indian Ford. And we've been going for a little under an hour now, right around 50 minutes. But here's one of the kiosks. They have the maps down there. So we are here. We're gonna head down this way 2.5 miles, but we started, there's camp, the Chapman camp, the Taylor Overlook that I told you guys about, and then this is where I parked. So far we've come all the way to here. And we've got 2.5 more miles to go, hopefully, before we turn around. Now, I do want to show you down this way is a parking lot for this section right here. And when you get to this point, you can go either direction to, but each trailhead is about 2.5 miles apart from each other in this section right here, which I think is awesome. I'm gonna check my headlamp. I haven't checked it, I was just thinking about that. And I do have my battery charger, so if it needs a little charge, I'll give it. It was fully charged when I put it in my fanny pack, but that was a couple weeks ago. And I don't think it'll lose its charge, but I just want to be prepared, because if I've got a good headlamp, then I'll go ahead and finish in the dark if I have to, and get all 10 miles in. This is one of the prettiest sections, I think, over here. And I just really like it. I think it's beautiful. The trees are a little bit different, and just seems a little bit more full. So I just checked my headlamp, and it is good to go. So I think I'm going to go for the whole 10 miles today. The forest is very quiet today, but I just did hear a spray of shots go off in the distance. So somebody is definitely in the woods doing a little bit of hunting. I don't know if they're doing target practice or if they're actually hunting. We're hitting our third bridge, or water walkway, I don't know what you want to call it. And it's almost kind of eerie out here, it's so quiet. Except for the crunching of the leaves underneath my feet. We are coming to a campsite in this section between Knight's Landing and Indian Ford. And so I'll walk through it for you to see. It's been on my video many times before, but I know not everybody watches all of them. This might be your very first one, I don't know. But this is the campsite. Lots of good spots. And then there's a water source down the trail a little bit, about 100 yards. And then you just keep on walking and you get back to the trail on the other side. So I know that there is this campsite, then the Chapmans, and there's the next one on the other side of Ellis. There's one at Dunn's Farm. There's one past Dunn's on the Pioneer. And there's one more on the Green Trail, which right now I can't remember the name of. So there's several campsites out here for people to take advantage of. Called Highwater Creek Crossing. You used to have to just walk down that little divot right there. A couple years ago they built this wonderful bridge. And I don't know, I've never been out here when the water was too high to cross it down there, but I like the bridge just the same. Yeah, about to hit our turnaround point, and I'm pretty sure I will be using my headlamp at some point on the way back. I might be wrong, but I'm prepared if it is. I haven't done too much night hiking out here. I did my first time with a group, the Northeast Florida Hiking Alliance, I think they're called. And then I came out here one time after work and kind of got stuck out here, and didn't expect it to get dark when it did. So I had to use my phone. I have a feeling with the way that it's getting darker now, which you can't really tell, the phone is a little bit deceptive, that I may be finishing in the dark, which is kind of exciting. And I like, being a little bit on the edge. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that all turns out. I can tell that I have not been on this section for a while because a lot of it doesn't even look very familiar to me. I thought I was about a half a mile to the turnaround point, and I just hit that. So I was probably like a mile away when I said that. But when I get to the turnaround point, I'm going to have to pull out my headlamp because it's starting to get dark, especially in this section right here. So, but this is not as familiar to me as I remember. So I guess I should come out to this side a little bit more often and not just stay over by the Dunn's farm side. Okay, I finally made it to my turnaround point. Over there, you can see the road out there. There's a launch point for canoes and kayaks. But we are headed back to Ellis Ford. Here's the map. I'm gonna get my headlamp out and then start heading back the way we came. So it's getting dark out. Got my headlamp on my head and I'm getting ready to turn it on. It is 5:53, so I'll be doing the last 5 miles with my headlamp on. So I thought I'd be able to get a little bit further, maybe the 2.5 mile mark, but I am going to go ahead and turn that on because there are some roots here and I really don't want to fall. I've done enough of that lately. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that turned on and start heading back. We are getting ready to pass or go over that bridge. I thought we were by the campsite, but we haven't gotten that far yet. So it is pitch black out here. Grateful for my headlamp. Okay, here is the side trail to the campsite, but we're gonna go straight this time. I will say that it's a totally different experience hiking in the dark. What I do like is seeing the spider eyes off on the side. It's like glitter, but I do have to pay a lot more attention. And this is definitely outside my comfort zone, but that's okay, because that's where we get stretched. So I probably have a little 3.7 miles to go to get to my car. So not quite halfway yet. Okay, crazy stuff has been happening, and but I've adapted and overcome. So my headlamp went dim, so I knew that it was running out of battery, and I had a battery pack, so I plugged that in. Now it's dark out here. If I had no lights out here, I would not be able to see where I was going. and I used my phone, and my phone actually worked really well. And then I told myself that once my phone got down to 20%, that I'd put my headlamp back on and charge my phone. Put my phone in airplane mode, and so now it is getting charged. So I'm not going to do a lot of videoing, but I'm going to get my phone charged in case the headlamp goes dim again, and I'll be ready to go. I've got a little under 2 miles, like 1 mile and 1.6 miles to go, and everything has been good. Temperatures dropped quite a bit. I can see my breath a little bit, but between my phone, my battery pack, and my headlamp, I'm gonna be able to see my way out of here. And I'll go home and charge my headlamp. Okay, we have 1.1 miles to go. And I think this last mile, well, within this next mile, I think is where the most of the elevation change is gonna, let's try this again. I think in this last mile is where the most elevation change is going to happen, because I don't feel like there was a lot of up and downs after this section heading the other way. So, and what did I say? Now we're starting to go down. We have made it off the trail, and now just gonna head back to my car. I was able to use my headlamp for the rest of the trip back, so that was pretty good. We'll head out that way. I have made it home, and my headlamp, once I charged it, made it all the way back to my car. So did right around 10 miles, and body feels good. Need to stretch a little bit. My hip flexors are a little tight, but other than that, I got those 10 miles in, so I was excited about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you can, subscribe and hit the like, that would help me. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys are doing something to keep your body moving. Talk to you later. Bye. Peace out.